Okay, guys, how you guys doing today? Wednesday afternoon, early afternoon. Sorry about to say April, August the 25th. We're gonna get this in. This is a very important video that I want to do, and and it's we're going into the new school year, and it's just things that I think people should want to talk about, and this is what I usually will talk about when it comes to promoting manhood, promoting family, empowering families, especially Black empowerment, because we're losing the most, man. As though it's many other non Black people that's catching up to us when it comes to family being disavowed and everything, because how people generally think that a mother and a father is not needed in a household, and it's been like this for 50 years, but it's been getting worse throughout those 50 years. I'm going to talk about a man that I've been he's a author. He's been around. He was actually in the feminist movement that you will see in this video. He was in the feminist movement years ago. Mr. Warren Farrell, Dr. Warren Farrell, uh, whatever how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I'm messing that up. Well, anyway, before I go any further, please like and subscribe to the channel. It's Kasim Lamar YouTube, and Kasim Lamar Dream Big podcast. So let's get to work by showing this video. Hold on 1 second. Here we go.
These students at the University of Toronto are angry because a so-called men's rights activist was
so angry
at their college. His words are hate.
I feel sorry for college kids nowadays. I feel sorry for college kids nowadays because, even when I was going, it was real super liberal. They were super liberal as well, but now it's dangerous to think other than super liberal ideology, communist ideology, feminist ideology, socialist. If you don't think like that, oh my God, even the teachers are ready to kill you. Verbally and sometimes physically. Let's go.
Stopped people like this man from getting in to see the lecture.
I've heard of a we invite you to educate so I just wanted to listen, but now I can't get in.
The boy crisis.
The so-called men's rights advocate speaking inside was Warren Farrell.
For the first time in U.S. history, boys will have less education than their dads.
Farrell is an odd person to call anti-woman. He was actually an early feminist movement leader. Here he is with Gloria Steinem. But as he learned...
I know some of you intelligent feminists, quote unquote. Yeah, I know who she is, Gloria Steinem. She was a cause. She was one of the causes and effects. And but I'm hearing that she did, this is all allegedly. She worked for the government as well. Especially, she really helped destroy the Black nuclear family as well. But let's keep it going.
More. He started to disagree with parts of modern feminism.
I don't agree with the part of feminism that says men are the oppressors and women are the oppressed. That part of feminism is sick.
Men are running the government, they run most companies, they make more money.
Our dads and our grandpas, they made sacrifices to make more money, and then the feminist movement turned all
in the
of
Black
that
community
sacrifice on the part of men against men, and they haven't said you would.
I'm gonna let you hear that again. Excuse me. The Black community, I'm gonna say, he said our dads and our grandfathers. This is actually our in the Black community, our grandfathers to our great grandfathers sacrificed a whole lot. I want to make sure that's clear. Let's rewind a little bit.
And then the feminist movement turned all of that sacrifice on the part of men against men, and they haven't said you were discriminated against men in your own way. You were obliged to earn more money, or we wouldn't even be thinking about marrying you. We wouldn't be thinking about having children with you.
In his book, The Boy Crisis, Farrell notes that both sexes struggle Today, boys are almost a third less likely to get college degrees than girls, twice as likely to commit suicide. Why is no one talking about this?
Because we have believed for the last 50 years that men had all the privilege and men had all the power.
Men and
In the
boys.
black community, men ain't had so-called privileges in about 100 years, maybe. Maybe in the book, The Boy, Man Not, we never had privileges in our own community, to be honest with you. For what Mr. Tommy Curry said, another author, we never had the privileges ever because we wasn't the most dominant man in America. Let's keep it going.
Boys started falling behind when government began subsidizing single mothers.
I'm
going to let y'all hear this. Now I'm going to bring you to the part that you guys been waiting for. It was this young woman that was telling us how she has 6 baby fathers and why she has 6 baby fathers. So let's share this with you guys. Sorry about that. Where we at? Okay, here we go. I'm sorry, guys. Take this out.
To say about the fact that I got 6 kids with 6 different men. So I'm just gonna tell y'all why it is better to do it this way. If I had 6 kids with all the same dude, I get 34% of his income, which is only $680 a month. If I got 6 kids with 6 different dudes, I get 17% from each one of them, which is $340 a month from each one. $340 a month times 6 baby daddies is $2,040. So why don't you have 6 baby daddy?
So first thing.
So let's stop that there. This woman, as you can see, we're going to go back to the original video that we was watching because there's a lot of gems in that. This woman, as you can see, she's telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? She's actually telling the truth. I'm going to actually let you, as I'm talking about her predicament, her situation, I'm going to let you see the young lady's face more. You know, look, she said she have 6 kids with versus 6 kids with one dude, 34%. You will get $680 a month for just one dude. 6 kids with 6 dudes, 17% each, $340 a month. 340 times 6, 2,040. This is what she said, TikTok woman, what have you. But can I blame this woman? Being as though I feel as though she probably not meeting too many guys that even make that money. The way how she sounds very uneducated. But when it comes to money, she sounds like she know what she's talking about. But she said she rough behind the edges. I see Pookie and Ray Ray in her life. I see many women like this where I'm at. You know, that brothers. When I say brothers, I should say men. That men impregnate, not just black men. A lot of these white guys and Hispanic guys, they impregnate. So I really cannot blame her for a man that want to be with a woman that, let's say, have 2 kids and 2 baby fathers. Right now, it has to be a man that's looking for a mom to be with a woman that already got 2 kids with 2 baby fathers, let alone 3 kids and then 4 kids with baby fathers, and then 5 and 6. You're like, what the hell? And then not to mention the STDs and maybe she even got something further than that, herpes and all that. Not to mention that, where many of these modern day women are carrying. So this is something that you guys really need to realize what's going on. Like, you're making bad decisions, and I'm talking about the men right now. You're making bad decisions because you're more than likely, and I got to say, myself included, you wasn't raised with a high-level thinking man in your household. You was raised in a really matriarchy household that told you what you didn't need to hear, that made you dependent on each and every woman that you involved yourself with. That's the problem. You need, and then when you get another man that's trying to tell you, especially an elder to you, that's trying to tell you what you need to not do, so you won't be in somebody's courthouse. You don't listen until you in someone's courthouse. And then the society tells men like me that want to make sure young men, especially young black men, understand that we need to have programs to uplift these boys. Just like they're saying, these young boys are mentally being destroyed for the last 50 plus years. When it comes to what's the word I'm looking for? The suicide rate, young men are three times more to commit suicide than the females, because of the pressure to be somebody that they didn't grow up to be. Because especially in my community, we either raise our boys to be son husbands, or we raise our boys to be as feminine as possible. Point blank. Let's keep this going. I'm gonna share this video, the original video. Here we go. Okay, let's get it. So I'm gonna put it back a little bit so you can see the gist of it. There you go.
Privilege, and men had all the power.
Men and boys started falling behind when government began subsidizing single mothers.
They tear the family apart by giving the money to mothers when fathers are absent, and not giving money to mothers when fathers are present.
That policy, part of the welfare system created in the 60s, helped lead to more households without fathers. Farrell says that hurts boys most. Why are boys?
Let's see this again. Hold on a second.
Farrell says that hurts boys.
Let's
Lead to
bring
more
that back.
households without fathers. Farrell says that hurts boys most. Why
Sorry,
are
guys. Let me do it one more
without
time.
Fathers.
Look at this. Percentage of children living with mothers. I can't see it because of the damn thing. From 68 to 2012, 8% to 24.4%. To 24%. And that's I think he's talking about Caucasians, the census, living with mothers only. That's Caucasians, because that's over the top when it comes to black people. Oh my God. It used to be 24, 50 plus years ago at this particular time. Now it's 75, 80. Now listen to what he had to say.
Farrell says that hurts boys most. Why are boys more affected than girls?
Boys tend to not have as many skills at developing friendships and developing emotional connections. And so when their family connection breaks apart, it affects them more profoundly than it does their sisters.
This 1989 CBS interview.
Real quick, as a young man, for a long time, I had emotional issues myself. I didn't know how to handle what a man of high level thinking that's not always emotional knew how to handle. It was, and then a lot of young men that I grew up with was the same way. They didn't have no productive father in their life, even if their father was in their life, but he was more of a simp, let the woman run over him, they were still emotionally unstable. And for a very long time, I've been emotionally unstable. Still to this day, sometimes I get that particular way. It's been a long time. It's been about over 5 years since I've been trying to develop my manhood to the best ability of my life. Because when I look back on what the decisions that I made, I could have got myself killed being overly emotional as a black man. Let's keep this going.
captured the changing attitudes after welfare programs.
That's-
1989 CBS interview.
I'm gonna do a story
captured
about
the
this.
changing attitudes after welfare programs started.
I think I can make it as a single parent.
But don't you think you might need help in raising that baby from a man?
Look how she looking.
Not really.
And that was in the 80s. That's more my mother age. These women, a lot of our women really thought they, and still to this day, big time, because the government helps them for the most part. They can make these bad decisions, especially if the woman wasn't raised with a proper mother and father figure. I tell my son to not be around her. Don't take her serious. And if you are going to take her serious, you need to keep on vetting her. Just like I think most men should do. Even at my age, you got to vet your women because you have to understand what they're about. You get the yum, the goodies all you want, but I'm telling you, as a person that made the mistakes that I have made in my life, you guys have to understand this is nothing to be playing with. Because you're giving that woman your seed, your quote unquote legacy. It's that serious.
It doesn't make any difference whether she needs a man.
Yeah.
It makes a difference that her children need a father.
And that's the problem. They think because she don't need a man, the kids don't need no man in their life. And I know a lot of women from my, black, white, Hispanic. I know a lot of them that think that way. Nobody don't give a shit the way what you think. You don't need no man, but your children do. This is a fact.
Happens when the kids don't have fathers.
Children do worse in 70 different areas. They're far more likely to be disobedient, delinquent, drop out of school.
Fathers are critical, says Farrell, because men tend to parent differently. For example, men roughhouse more with kids.
Yep.
Why is that important?
Roughhousing creates so many skill sets. The father's creating a bond with the child. So the children don't mind the discipline because the discipline is the price they pay for more fun with dad.
People think that mothers tend to be better parents because on average, they're
we
more
know that's
attentive
wrong.
to children's needs.
Mothers are more empathetic as a rule to the children than dads. But an empathetic parent does not create an empathetic child. An empathetic parent is someone who's...
Remember, he said empathetic parent. It could be a woman or a man. I know a lot of men that was raised in my era, my generation, and especially the little bit younger generation, they're really empathetic. They treat their little boys and girls, especially their boys, just the same as their mother used to treat them. And they're supposed to be a little bit different DNA-wise, but they are a little different, but it takes time, like it's taking time for me. I used to empathize with my son and my daughter when they was little. I have a 2-year-old now. I won't do that because I know my part into being a father. That's just me. Let's keep it going.
Always thinking of the children's needs, which teach the children to always have his or her needs thought of. The empathy is created by the father or the mother requiring the child to think about the father's needs, the mother's needs, the brother's needs.
In fact, he says helping children too much is harmful. Dr. Phil covered that in this video clip.
Robbie, Mom is rewriting your essay.
Why? What is wrong with my essay?
Listen, this is the first paragraph.
This is the part when I call a lot of these women that's raising son fathers. You know what I mean? Son husbands. Listen to what they have to say.
Time to eat. You need to start with...
Mom, I'm in middle school. I'm not in high school yet.
It's a big middle schooler.
You want me to try. Let me try. Don't do it for me, Mom. I really want to do it myself.
Moms are filled with love.
That's a problem. And I see, working in the school system, I see it all the time. These women are trying to make their sons dependent instead of independent. And a lot of the fathers that grew up in a matriarchy household are the same freaking way. And guys, It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
Make sure their children do well. So they often do for the children. Dads are filled with love, but the way that dads love is to feel that I need to love the children by having the children learn how to do for themselves.
Right.
Having both an involved mother and father leads to the best outcome for kids. A government summary of studies notes children who live with their fathers are more likely to have good physical and emotional health.
Look at that. Children who live with their fathers are more likely to have good physical and emotional health, to achieve academically, and to avoid drugs, violence, and delinquent behavior. This is a scientific fact. This is a fact that has been misled by the mainstream super liberal media. Okay? This is a fact. Women need men and men need women to raise these children. So you have to realize who you putting your seed into or who you opening your legs to. This ain't no joke. Let's keep it going.
To achieve academically, to avoid drugs, violence, and delinquent behavior.
We need men to be involved in the fathering role to a much greater degree than they are and have been. Even when we control for the amount of money a father and mother earn, children with dads still do much better.
Well, that's it to the video, guys. I'm gonna leave this video in the description box so you guys can see it and everything. But again, guys, this is not to disrespect a woman or what have you. This is to put some education into these people's minds from a man that's in the educational field, in the sports field. We're seeing it more. I'm not afraid to talk about it because these young men need help. They think they can't even be men no more. This is crazy. And if you really love your son and your daughter, man or woman, you will make sure that you're going to have on a baby with somebody you vetted, meaning know who they are, really know who they are, not just by their sex. Understand who they was raised with. Is that's knowing who they are, understanding what type of education do they have, understanding do they respect authority. You got to understand all this stuff, and this goes for the man and a woman in this society. Anyway, guys, I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe to it because I'm gonna keep on hitting you in the head with some good content. Because I'm for you guys, I'm for the people, I'm for the children, I'm for manhood, I'm for Black masculinity to go any further, to go further into protecting themselves and protecting their communities, like our grandfathers to great grandfathers used to do. We got to step up, man. We got to step up. Because, we got to be in our kids' life. Before we do any of that, we really need to mentally understand that we need to get our shit together mentally, physically, financially, before having children. Especially if you was raised in a traumatic household, a trauma-filled household. You have to do this. Anyway, guys, again, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel. Peace.